So here's a surprise. On top of the weekly update that we got from Warzone and Vanguard this week, we ended up getting a surprise update that brand new content is coming to Black Ops Cold War 2, and it's coming tomorrow. Today we're breaking down everything you need to know about what we learned today from tomorrow's surprise Year 2 content drop in Cold War to what went down today in all things Call of Duty. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to a new weapon coming in Cold War? Maybe a reason to jump on to a different COD game? Whatever the case, drop it down below. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Warzone, Vanguard, Cold War even, Modern Warfare 2 in the future, and anything COD related. We've got you covered here on the channel. And finally, if you ever want to pick up anything in the COD shop across either Warzone, Vanguard, Cold War, like the new rifle tomorrow, there's going to be a tracer pack for that, or Modern Warfare, and would like to support the channel a little further, creator code espresso in the support a creator function helps out tremendously. It's an entirely optional way to support the channel, so don't ever feel pressure to do so, but if you ever do, tweet me a picture. I'd love to shout out some of your generous support in upcoming videos. That said, let's jump into it. So the lead off, the coolest thing here probably out of this, outside of just the weekly updates that we get here for Warzone and Vanguard, is that we'll have new Cold War content dropping tomorrow. The announcement was dropped in a surprise tandem way alongside today's weekly update, where Treyarch tweeted, "Surprise, we've got new content dropping tomorrow in Black Ops Cold War. WMD multiplayer map, a remaster from Black Ops 1, the Vargo 52 assault rifle, and the tracer pack Pharaoh Fury reactive mastercraft bundle," with a link to the COD blog for further details. So this stuff was actually leaked a little while back, and we mentioned it here on the channel, though we didn't know when it would be coming. That was the big question mark. WMD was added to the game files. There was that rumor that Jungle was added as well, but it seemed like that was more conjecture than anything else. But WMD was in the files, was able to be force loaded, and was a complete map. Literally just a matter of when will it drop. But it's a classic that we've seen a few times here. Not as many as Nuketown and others, but Black Ops 1, Black Ops 4, and now again in Black Ops Cold War. So it is something that can be familiar for a lot of players, but for those that may not have played the classic installment of them, didn't play Black Ops 4 that late into the life cycle, this might be something that's relatively newer to you. So it's something that can be new or familiar for all players, but it's a solid map. The pacing should be good here on this end. I think that it could work out well within Black Ops Cold War. Now the Vargo 52 assault rifle, though, that's the new rifle we'll be getting here, and we actually saw some recent and limited footage of it because there was a little bit of an unlock bug where you could get it a little early. But more so focusing on the present here, if you're interested in unlocking it as of tomorrow, it might take a little bit of time, but not be too terrible. For multiplayer, you'll have to use assault rifles and deal 1,000 damage in 15 different completed matches. In zombies, you can unlock it there as well, but you have to eliminate 750 enemies while using an assault rifle that has been pack-a-punched 3 times. So it really comes down to where you can be most efficient. I guess if you're a zombies player, you can pack-a-punch a rifle rather quickly here and then get 750 kills out of it. The timing might be relatively similar, all things considered, but it is something that will take a little bit of time. But my question, it comes back to that sort of a bug for the unlock. My question that we won't know until tomorrow is that will we be able to keep any progress made for those that ended up making progress towards this a couple of weeks ago? If you guys remember, there was a way to unlock this early a couple of weeks ago using that same multiplayer challenge, but it was only progressible within Modern Warfare MP. So there were people that made progress towards it. There were people that even unlocked it and could use it in game. So my question is, will this be relocked for those that already completed it, and or will the progress be wiped for those and those that didn't complete it but had some progression along the way? It'll be interesting to see for sure, but that's something that will be introduced as of tomorrow. And if you don't necessarily want to unlock it and you want to just jump right into it, there will be that bundle that comes along with it. Again, that tracer pack Pharaoh Fury reactive mastercraft bundle will be available in the shop. Again, my guess is probably likely for like 2,400 COD points or so. We see that normally happening with the weapon introduction bundles, but this will be a way to immediately unlock that. And the mastercraft for it was actually pretty cool from what was data mined a couple of weeks back. If I remember correctly, the camo itself isn't anything too out of the ordinary, but the inspect animation and the sort of mastercraft properties to it are actually really cool. Think like the symbiote from the Spider-Man and Venom universes, where it's like a sticky matter that tries to pull other things towards it and take over as a host. So like part of the inspect animation was the operator pulling the magazine away, but the gun pulls the magazine back in with this sort of like alien property. It's pretty cool, and it's something that I definitely think that I will be picking up. It'll be the first bundle that I get in quite some time. But anyways, that'll be available as well. And again, if you'd like to support the channel, you can use creator code espresso to do that as of tomorrow, but again, entirely optional. But that's the content coming as of tomorrow to Black Ops Cold War and kicks off that Year 2 update. Now, will we see more here in the future? That's for time to tell. They did mention in a blog post earlier this year that they weren't done with the operators within Black Ops Cold War, so that may hint that we have at least one more thing coming throughout Year 2 of Black Ops Cold War, though honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more weapons, more maps added in here after the fact. That was something that was rumored and hinted at for quite some time during the lifespan of Black Ops Cold War even, so that's something that we may see here come to fruition. But anyways, that is what's coming tomorrow. What happened today was a little bit of an update that gave us some playable stuff that builds upon what we talked about as of yesterday. On the Warzone side of things, we talked a little bit how there were going to be some changes to Vanguard Royale here, in which firstly, they made one additional change here to what we talked about as of yesterday. We talked about how initially it was planned that UAVs in the buy stations would be $9,000, but they're now back to the standard $6,000. So kind of strange that they made this big point about it being the sort of more increased in value utility so that it wasn't spam worthy, but it also wasn't not in the game entirely. But now it's back down to where it was, which $6,000 is still more than the $4,000 that it was before Caldera and the changes here that happened with Warzone Pacific, but it is something that it still can be spammed, kind of. $6,000 is still quite a bit to scrape together for one utility item that lasts, what, 15 to 30 seconds, but it is something that can easily be done. So interesting that that discussion that they had internally has been kind of reverted back. So that's something that was changed from the initial changes that we talked about yesterday. But then outside of that, Rebirth Iron Trials is here, and that is something that is definitely gonna be interesting to jump into. It is something that does have the standard gulag, so there is no Rebirth Resurgence with this. It is going to be your traditional battle royales, but in Iron Trials format on Rebirth Island. It also is mentioned that this is going to be the last hurrah here for Rebirth Island, which we'll talk about in a video later this weekend, I think, but it is something to jump in, try that out. Upped health, different loot pool, different buy station items, different vehicles, things like that. There's a lot of changes here that are definitely going to be worthwhile. So try that out. I'm very much so looking forward to jump into it. And if you do jump into it, you end up winning. You get a unique animated calling card as a reward that'll set you out from the rest of players that simply competed and didn't master a lobby. Playlist-wise, on the Warzone side of things, not necessarily talking changes to the game itself, we have your Vanguard Royale, solos, duos, trios, and quads. You have your standard Battle Royale quads. You have Plunder quads, and then also your Rebirth Resurgence duos, trios, and quads. So you have a little bit of everything on offer here this week in terms of playlists for Warzone. But jumping over to the Vanguard side of things, we saw a playlist update and a couple of other changes actually to the gameplay experience itself. For those gameplay changes, we saw that Casablanca had an issue where players would spawn near enemies in patrol. That was fixed out, and it's also returned to the regular rotation in patrol. The weapon perk of Gung Ho had a decrease in the weapon sprint out times. The Gammon Bomb had a decrease in explosive damage and explosive radius and hardcore modes. A little bit of a nerf there, which is definitely nice as well. The perk of Fortified now no longer allows fully healed players to survive a stick from a sticky grenade. The spy plane and the counter spy plane both had a decrease in the cruise speed, which should make it easier even to take these out while they're flying around. Nice for those that are still working for their challenges here for the launchers, and then a couple of other bug fixes as well. Now, on the playlist side of things, we saw that we ended up having the introduction of Trifecta Domination, which is Hotel Royal, Casablanca, and Tuscan, Medium Map Assault, Big Map Blitz, and Champion Hill solos added into what was still existing already, with Ship House 24/7 remaining. So nice bit of on-offer playlist here for this week as well in terms of Vanguard, but that is going to do it here for today's update and what we can expect to see as of tomorrow. So some big stuff, no doubt, especially coming to Black Ops Cold War as of tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you guys like the changes we saw today and we'll see coming as of tomorrow? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing running all things Warzone, Vanguard, Cold War even, and anything COD related. We've got you covered here on the channel. So if you guys are interested, I'd love to have you in the community. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.